to create a piece of content for my Instagram. And as I was creating it, I literally was like, this fucking sucks. I don't want to do this. And not from a space of like, this is hard, I don't want to do this, but from a space of like, this is so not aligned with where I'm at right now. Like, let's not play that game. So I threw it out. I was like, this is not real for me right now. And if I can't show up exactly as I am in this moment, there is no point for me to show up at all. I often think about my ability to communicate the way that I feel in the moments that I feel them. And I also think about who I was and what I needed a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and that somebody might find my page and need that. So today is not about creating a piece of content that is perfectly curated. Today's about sharing something real for the person that's looking for something real. So that maybe in 6 months from now, that person can get exactly what they need because I was brave enough to share it. I don't feel like creating a piece of content right now that is about selling or marketing or my program or anything really. I just feel like talking. I just feel like sharing how I feel in this moment because this moment is my life. And right now I feel kind of down. Not because my life is down, but because I just feel conflicted. And I want to share what that means for me and what it might mean for you and what we can do about it, because I've been feeling this way for quite some time now, the last few months. And you might be listening to this for the first time ever and you have no clue who I am. That's okay. You'll catch on quickly. But I don't really know either in some certain ways. I've spent the last year transforming my entire life. Like literally every part of my life is different. I am different. I'm a different human being. And I only dreamed of being the person that I am now a year ago. And here I am. And it's great. And there are so many cool things that I've done with this version of me. And at the same time, there's this other version of me that I haven't met yet. That feels far but close, near but not that close, where I can touch it and I can feel it and I can bring it towards me. But I know she exists. And I'm having a really hard time between who I was and who I am now and that version of me. The version of, hey, we're going this way. And so I thought, why the fuck am I going to create a piece of content that has nothing to do with how I feel now? Because my greatest gift in life is to share the journey, the real journey, in real time. I'm having a hard time being tied to a topic. Apparently, I have a hard time being tied to anything. I try to do the deep work on what that could mean of, is it just this idea that I can't bring all of me into everything that I do? But I think for me, what it means is that the gift is never the topic that I'm talking about. It's the way that I deliver it. My gift is my ability to communicate and create ideas that change people's lives and communicating in ways that people can understand something. I don't know if you've ever thought about your gift. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But sometimes I get overwhelmed because I don't always know how to communicate the gift. But then I realize that the gift is my ability to communicate. And I don't have to tell people about the gift. It just is. I think a part of me is scared of that because I can't always communicate it to somebody. I can just say that my purpose in this world is to communicate radical ideas, and my gift of communication, my words, my ability to break down complicated topics, to answer questions, to share my journey and share my truth and the things that I experience. I feel silly saying that to somebody sometimes, and that feeling of feeling silly makes me feel like I can't share the gift in the way that the gift should be shared. And that's why I have a podcast, because when I put this microphone on and when I put these headphones on, there is no one else that exists but me and my gift and my truth. And it drives me fucking nuts because I feel like it's always something that I deal with. People call me a coach, or now it's walking away from weed, and it's this or it's that, and it's like I just need everyone to stop. Because when I feel that from people, I don't know where to go. And then I lose the gift. And the gift has never been about a topic for me. It's been about my journey in the things that I've been able to teach through the journey. I'm an educator, a speaker, a human being, a businesswoman, a creator. But I'm just me. And I don't know if everyone feels this way sometimes. Tied to a topic, tied to an identity, tied to an addiction, tied to a person, tied to a label. But I find myself in this situation over and over and over again. And I'm really trying to understand it because I'm in a good place in my life, right? And I've done incredible things, and I've helped so many people. I've turned my whole life around, and I still have this feeling of this isn't it. And I often wonder, what is it? What does that even mean? Will it ever be it? Will it ever be a topic? Will it ever be just this one thing? Like, is it even that to begin with? I don't know. I don't think so, because obviously I have a very strong reaction when I start to get put into a box. And honestly, I know they say, like, this is not your personal diary. Like, fuck all of you. Yes, it is. Like, this is literally my greatest gift is my vulnerability. And we don't talk about this enough. The real moments of the journey of breaking through the label, of saying fuck you to the world, of like, hey, thank you, but no thank you. Or I'm figuring it out, or I'm doing well and I'm figuring it out. That next version of me, I don't know. I just don't know. But I know she's there. And when I think about that, have you ever thought about that? You're like, I'm not where I used to be. I'm not exactly where I want to be, even though I don't know where I'm going, but I know there's more. I used to let that scare me, and now I let that excite me. And even when things are exciting, they can be scary. And even as I'm talking about this, I'm like, Ricki, you can't share this. But it's like, why the fuck can't I share it? I can share whatever I want. Like, what? How many times do you just do things because that's what you're supposed to do? How many labels do you identify with? How many situations do you stay in that you hate? How many niches have you gone through? How many topics do you create for that you're not even excited about? How much longer can you do it? How much longer can I do it? Everyone always says you have to have a why. I agree. I really do. You have to have something bigger than you to keep you going. And I don't know my why. I just know that when I put this microphone on and I put my headphones on, I feel free. The labels disappear. The box, it opens up. The topics, they get quieter. The noise, the volume goes down, and I can hear my own thoughts. I can feel them. I can process them. And I feel free. What does that mean? What does it mean when you feel free in certain ways and trapped in others? And then there's this other part of me that's like, well, Ricki, this is just a moment in time. Like, you don't want to share this, right? You don't want anyone to think that you're not doing well. And it's like, why would someone think that? The fact that it's so black and white is the problem. And my biggest fear, it's not a fear, my biggest thing is like, I don't want anyone to ask me if I'm doing okay, because it implies that you think that I'm not, that I can't have a human experience. And this is the only thing that I felt compelled to talk about right now, because everything else just feels forced. Unfortunately. So I don't even know if this is helpful, but at least it's real. At least it's real. There is a desire inside of me, and I don't know what it is. And I think that's okay. And it's okay for you too. It's okay to not know. It's okay to know. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to feel stuck, and you can feel free at the same time. It's like we are not designed to just feel one thing. We are designed to feel. And I think that like when I put the headphones on, it's like there's no other distractions, you know? Like I can hear my actual thoughts, because like I'm speaking to a microphone. I can like hear them loud and clear. They are right there. I can feel them. And they're so real to me. And I'm not asking anyone their opinion. It's just me. I'm just here in this moment of thought, of processing something. It's so challenging when you do something and it's great, and then you lose something, like maybe momentum with yourself, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you realize you can't go back to what was, because what was doesn't exist anymore for you, because you're different now. But you don't know what that difference is. You just know it's different. Maybe it's the in-between. Maybe it's the part people try to avoid. This is leadership. To me, this is what it means to be a leader. A leader shows up always. Not always for other people, but for themselves. I used to be ashamed of the things that I felt. Like I couldn't share them in real time. I didn't want anyone to think that I wasn't doing well. But I really wasn't doing well. That was the problem. But now when I share this stuff, it's like I actually am doing well. Because I don't have a secret to share or to keep. It's the secrets, people that don't share, that you got to worry about. I just want to remind you that the in-between moments between who you were and where you're going and who you currently are, that's a real thing. And if you don't want to show up and make fucking content about what you're supposed to make content, who gives a fuck? Do whatever you want. Just be real. Use your gifts. My gift is my communication and my ability to express myself. And my gift can't be curated in a beautiful filter or thought about beforehand too much. It just exists when I allow it to. And today I really needed to just allow it to. And it feels really good to just allow myself to exist exactly as I am in this moment. and make it mean nothing about who I am as a human or as a leader or as a person. It's just this moment of time. I don't really know, honestly, but it just feels so good to talk and just share my fears of epiphany, of not knowing, of desiring something that I don't even know that I desire, of wanting to be in a relationship, of not always knowing what to post, of feeling anxious about like my following keep continuing to grow and people just like putting me and tying me to like a topic. I'm scared of my evolution. And I don't always know how to tell you that because I'm scared of what you might think of it. Or maybe I'm scared of what I might think of it. That it feels so good to speak without fear. To just speak. To just be vulnerable and truthful. Knowing that the truth will change. This moment will pass. And it means nothing. And it means everything. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've just talked and cried and allowed myself to do that with no judgment. Oh, it's exactly what I needed. And this might be like the worst podcast episode in like the history of my podcast episodes, but maybe it's also the best because it's so real. It's just so real. And that's the gift. Thank you for listening. I don't even know if you still are, but if you are, thank you, because these are the parts of ourselves that we will forget sometimes. So we have to share them, or we have to document them, or we have to do something with these parts of the journey, or else we're going to forget about them. And these are the parts that make us who we are. Thank you for being a part of my part. I don't know what that meant, but you know what I mean. And it's okay. It's always gonna be okay. Okay. Whew. I'll see you next week if you return.